Hey folks, how you doing? In this video, I'm going to show you how to make your spaceship look like old rusty war veteran. I shared a post couple of days ago showing you the final result, how it turned out. And in this video, we are using another spaceship called Novacro, aka Dynamic Class Freighter, or you can search it on internet by Ebon Hawk Magnet, and you can find it from Sketchfab, Thingiverse, wherever you see fit. So before start texturing, let's say make the environment. I used an HDRI, using an easy HDRI. I got couple of them for the background because we are going to use cycles, cause the effect we are creating is not going to show in EV until you bake it. So we will do that as well. But before, we are going to start with our spaceship. So look at the spaceship, pretty good, neat and clean. Now let's make it rusty. So create a new material, and you need node wrangler add-on. So go to edit preferences and search for node wrangler and enable it. I'm using blender 4.1, and if you are using any other version of blender like 4.2 or above, you will find it in add-ons but in a different way. So now with this, let's just turn off overlays. Too much white, right? So we are going to do is hit Control T on the principal VSDF to get the image texture and the mapping setup, and we are opening a texture. Let's go to imperfections and use this. So this looks fine already, more like ceramic than a spaceship. So with this texture, we will tweak its hue saturation value. Let's make it, bring it on 0.3. Yeah, this much dark we need it. And for the rest of it, we are using a noise texture. I mapped on Shift 10 and Alt C for noise texture and color ramp. I have added a video. You can find it in the iCard above. How to speed up your shader editor workflow. So plug this in here and let's preview our noise texture. Let's make it 4D and 25 for this and 8 for the details, 0.8 here and 3 for this. And you might be wondering, I just put the numbers, but what's the difference? This is the difference. I think detail is too much, so let's bring it to 4, maybe this to 2. Yes, that's fine. Let's preview it. Wow, don't look like it's worked well, but as you crack the details, you will see the difference. Let's bring this value just a bit up to break the difference, and let's see. Let's bring back this to 8. Okay, we got some cool roughness going on, pretty sharp though. So for that, I'm just bringing this value up till I get some firm roughness, even breakup all over the surface. You can play with the values to get the details. Okay, so here you can see how this looks with the color ramp, and this is the final. So the detailing here, this breakup of the roughness is top notch. Looks fine from the far distance if you see, right? So let's add an extra layer of texture here. So I'm going to duplicate everything with Control Shift T or Shift T. Then we will change the texture here. So I'm going to use a texture which I created using JS placement long time ago. You can do it, it's a free software, and it gives pretty nice results. So look at this. Currently you see that it looks not too great. So what I'm gonna do is mix this both and then plug to the principal VST. Now you see the difference. What we got, some paneling going on. Okay, so here we got the details. Maybe you wanna set it to multiply it. Looks even more cooler. Or let's keep it on mix, because I like this result somewhere between our two texture. Yep, this is fine. So with this texturing going on, we can move to the next step, which is adding bump. Before we go for edge details, so control B for the bump node and plug this into the height and this into the bump. Let's bring back the color ramp, and you can already see the details it's got just by adding a bump node. Now let's the fun part begins, so the most important part begins. So we are going to use a bevel node. Let's duplicate it twice, once, so we got two of them. And now we will use control T to create this setup and delete the image texture. We are going to use a noise texture and a color ramp, bring them forward, so here, and plug this into this. Look at this, nothing too crazy. Like if you just remove this, it's too sharp, but when you plug it in the radius, it's firm and distributed evenly. But when you play with this value, if you see here, let's crank the values to 20 and details to 4. This is 0.8, you know the setting. Okay, cool. So this is the setup we created, and let's see now. So you see nothing much of a difference, but you can see on the edges that I got the noise. Now what we have the second one for, because we are going to multiply them, mix them using a color ramp and set the mix to difference. What that does it, let me just add a color ramp, not with this one. We forgot something in between, so before the color ramp and the difference, add a separate color node which will give us the color values, and we are setting it to HSV and choose the value. You can already see the difference, but when you plug values in the hue saturation, you get this pretty nice CH right off the bat, not any node, not too much trickier. And set the difference to 1, and if you increase the radius here, you get all the details. Let's crank up this to get the weather texture going on, and voila, look at this, beautiful, isn't it? Let's duplicate the color ramp, control shift T to keep the connection, and change the color to one to light orangish and one is dark brown or chocolatey, like the rust color. Now we are going to plug this into our base texture we just made using images using a mix color. So this is going to be our factor, this is going to be our, okay, let's plug this into A and let's plug this into B and plug this into the principal VSTF. You can already see that we got nice looking edge wear going on. Okay, so I accidentally plugged this in both, need to plug this one into factor. Cool, so we got this going on. Okay, something I think messed up because we can see only one color. Let me just, okay, because why we are seeing one color, because of this, we told it purposely to use one color from this, but when we crank the details here, we'll get some rustiness going on all over the place, and we can play with the radius to decrease its length and increase its value. So this is our layer 1. I guess too bright. And let let's have the color. Okay, this is not. I want the brown to be look perfect, so we are going to create that. Let's bring up our whites. You can see the difference in here. This is something else and this is something else. So yeah, cool. So we got our color difference, our dark color here and our light color here. Now we are duplicating the whole setup and just remove this, duplicate this mix and plug it here and plug this into the factor, and you get this cool looking white color on top of our rust. Because this white, we will just lower down the value to get more sharpness, less fringe over it. So we will make it go dark brown. I mean that white also looks fine. Highlight it, like the edges are weathered too much. You can use that as well. And increase this, and let's say we will crank up the radius here. Okay, increasing samples also fine. Let's bring this and break the evenness of this scene. Also going to use this to break things even more here. So that's how you crank the details. Okay, then we lost one color. Let's bring those color ramps to get the values, and here okay, so we got nice looking brownish texture with some white like chip off colors from the corners, like it's rusted and painted out in the wall. Or you can even go darker to get the result and see how cool it looks. You can change this to a brown one as well, so it's more darker, and increase its radius to get the light, like the fringe going on to the side. And here we can create the breakup of the textures, fine tune as per your liking. Not too much of a hustle. Here see the difference between the pattern and the design. And Okay, so on this color ramp, if you bring white closer, you will get this. And with this color ramp, you will take the noise and break this up. So if you want a difference between the noise and the white, we'll just play the values like this. You can even increase or decrease the scale to get more variations. Yes, but that isn't looking well. Okay, so here you get the details with this, and let's make it lighter. See, so we got these two types of details here. Because I'm using this as a factor and the value, I can't crank it too much, otherwise it not looks right. We can go and fine tune from here. This is the breakup I was going for, and let's say bring this up just like this, and there we have it, some dirty looking color with some fine edge wear. So you can see the highlights and the textures, like how cool it's look. And that's how I textured the other spaceship. So let me just show you how I created this same texture on this TBD, also called YT2400. So let me just really go through this. So here you can see I used the same technique to get the edge wear. The strength on this one is pretty high to get these details with the noise texture going on. That's how I get this all the detail. And same for this one, like we did with our two colors. One for this, the noise is going uh, add this small, you see small scale details, and then we use this to color and just as okay. So I just inverted the color. That's how I got this sharp edge wear, which I didn't do in our case, but you can see it's fine without this. And then I multiplied just like I just show you, multiplied, but I cranked the details too much in here to get the perfect looking result. It's the same, but it's the same as before, but it works depending on your model. And then I combine our base texture, which is just this white scratch texture, with a mix node with a noise texture to break up this texture, from some places. See, so that's create a burn marks like look of it. Then this is the base texture, but what changes it to move dark to the white from white is when I added the logo. So I UV mapped it again. You see, I added another UV map for the logo, and just a simple setup. This is the logo, and used hue saturation value. So when I combine this using this color ramp in a factor, so it got dimmed like this. That's why it looks bit dark, but it's reached the result I wanted. So that's how. And here you can see like this outer area is too detailed brown, as I did in the video. in the tutorial. So this is the more brownish area, and this is the highlight color. So that's how you combine two radius of this edge wares to get this rusty looking detail. And look at this now, it looks fine, beautiful, all rusty, like it has been ages since this was drived on a field, a fly on a field. Then I baked everything to create texture maps for it, because I'm going to use it in Unreal Engine later on. That's why. If you enjoy the tutorial, don't forget to subscribe my channel, like the video, and leave the comment. What do you want to see in the next tutorial?